everybody, and welcome back to Tina's Tea. This is episode 9, and we are doing fine. You'll notice I'm wearing my Garfield sweater, which I finally wove in the ends today. Special shout out to my bestie for reminding me that I have it and I should wear it. Sorry for the flickering. I honestly don't know how to fix that. If somebody knows, please tell me in the comments below, because I feel like I'm having a seizure every time it happens. I've changed the frames per second. It doesn't seem to make a difference. So I think my laptop is actually probably just kind of getting old, and I'm going to have to start thinking about that soon. Anyway, enough with the technical difficulties. In the shop last week, and you probably have already seen it, but in case you didn't, this was last week's Wildcard Wednesday. So this is Whispers in the Dark, named after a favorite Yanni song. I don't mean to brag, but according to Spotify, Yanni was my top artist last year. I'm in the 0.2% top listeners of Yanni, which makes me feel like a total dweeb, but whatever. I'm not apologizing for my Yanni love. So anyway, that is in the shop. Whispers in the Dark. I have not physically put them side by side, but I do suspect that Whispers in the Dark and Black Ice go really well together. You can actually just look at them on the website. Their pictures are side by side. So there's that. As far as knitting goes, I did get a little bit more done on this. I love this glitzy thing. I'm almost up to the part where I'm going to start doing the border plain, the brown yarn. But now I'm thinking about that because the whole reason I paired the brown yarn with the shiny stuff is because I don't really like the brown yarn. So maybe I'll figure something else out to do for the border that coordinates. I mean, it's not like I lack yarn. I will absolutely figure something out. But yeah, so made progress on that. It's almost done. Just like 2 more inches, I think, maybe like 1.5 inches. And then, got to pick up along the top for the border and do the strings, and then I'll have a new little thingamajigget for my head. Oh my goodness, that is going to be so much fun. All right, maybe I'll get that done. Today's Monday. I'll get that done by the next episode. I worked on this a little bit, my Christmas shawl, but unfortunately, I realized I was really losing my mojo with it, and I couldn't figure out why. Because it's very Christmassy, and it's sparkly, and 'tis the season. And then I realized the reason that I don't like it is because it reminds me of the keffiyeh, and it's also the colors of the Palestinian flag, and I am so sick of seeing that shit everywhere, and leftist ruin everything. So I was talking to my bestie about it, and she was like, well, you could finish it and then just over dye it. And I was like, hell yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I think once it's done, I'm going to dye it a pale pink. So that way the green will show through, the red will still be red. The green won't get toned down much, but it won't read as anything Palestinian. Because why would I want that? So anyway, on to my hilarious, embarrassing party story that nobody would know if I didn't tell them, because it happened entirely inside my head, and me being the smooth operator I am, I didn't give myself away, except in the Knit Night chat. So if you were in the Knit Night chat and you saw me make a comment about mistaking Eric for Fernando, let me explain. Let me preface this by saying, first of all, I was stone sober when this happened. Like, I had been at the party for maybe like a half hour, maybe an hour, maybe a little longer. I had had maybe like most of a beer and a shot, and I was fine. Not out of my mind, not tipsy, not. The problem is, I have that face blindness thing that goes on. Sometimes you don't recognize faces when they're out of context. I don't recognize people that I've just met until I've seen them like 2 or 3 times. It was really awkward when I started my dog walking job, because I was meeting so many people and I couldn't keep track of like who was who for the first few weeks. And I had to really like look at people's faces and like try to memorize some outstanding feature about them. Like, okay, this guy has blue eyes. Okay, this guy always wears a hat, like that sort of thing. So, anyway, the party I go to every year for Christmas, I went there on Friday, and every year this very nice guy named Eric shows up. And now he's a window washer for the building. This building has a lot of windows. It's a landmark building in Greenwich Village, and it's windows freaking galore. So, he gets plenty of work there, but because he's there so often, they always invite him to the party. And, he's just a genuinely nice, caring guy. I always enjoy talking to him at the party. So I was a little surprised when I showed up to the party and he wasn't there. So, I'm talking to people and eating and drinking, and then he shows up. And I'm so happy to see him. And I'm like, oh, hello, my friend. It's so good to see you. I was wondering when you would show up. How have you been? And the whole time I'm looking at him, and in the back of my head, I'm smiling at him and I'm, happy to see him. But in the back of my head, I'm like, what's wrong with Eric's face? Is it because he's wearing a hat? Did he lose weight? Spoiler alert, gentle viewer. Eric didn't show up to the party. It was the super of a building down the street named Fernando. But Fernando and Eric kind of look alike a little bit, I guess, which I didn't realize until Friday. I hadn't seen Fernando in a long time, and I had never seen him at the party before. So seeing him out of context and expecting somebody else who kind of looks like him, I guess my brain just. Fortunately, I didn't say his name, so Fernando just thought I was really happy to see him for some reason. Although nobody told me he was coming or anything, so I don't know. Anyway, it was just a little bit of embarrassment in my head, but Fernando sure was happy. He winked at me. He was like, yeah, how you doing? I mean, don't get me wrong. It was nice to see Fernando. He's a perfectly nice guy, but Fernando and Eric are not the same person, so good job, dumbass. Anyway, as far as other news goes, I have a makeover Monday to remake over. I tried to redo my colorway called Little Sister, which was one of my very first colorways, and I forgot that I had it in the shop, and it wasn't even on my Makeover Monday list. I was going through my old dye notebook, and I noticed the formula, and I was like, wait, I made over Big Sister. I should do Little Sister, too. So I had this great idea in my head, and it didn't really work out. The new version of Little Sister wound up looking a lot like Fairies Wear Boots, and I was not thrilled with it. So I'm going to rethink my colors and rethink my technique, and I'm going to reshoot the video tonight, and then try to get it up tomorrow, I guess. I also have a really fun project on a yarn base I discontinued years ago. It's a bulky single ply yarn, and nobody was buying it, so I discontinued it. But I discovered I had a whole bunch of it. So I'm going to make a sweater out of that in my cozy afternoon colorway, which nobody has bought. But I think once I got that sweater working, in progress, I think people will remember it exists, and somebody's going to want it, because I believe in that colorway. I really love that one. I was really, really proud of myself for getting that exactly to match the nail polish that I love. And anyway, I did a Wildcard Wednesday already. And spoiler alert, it is somewhat Christmassy. I don't know how it's going to knit up. It's kind of flirting with not Christmassy, but also Christmassy. It's like Christmas, but not overly in your face Christmas. I don't know. I'm going to see how it knits up. I don't know if I'm going to add it to the shop. I really got to see how it knits up first. But I do like the colors together. I think the algorithm or the AI generator thingy, I think it did a good job of picking colors for me this time. So we'll see. And I think that's about it. I'll be working on the new Patreon colorway too, and it's weird to figure out the Patreon stuff. The new Patreon video is up, by the way, for the top tier yarnies. The making of the colorway. It's up on Patreon. If you are viewing it on Patreon and you find that you have trouble viewing it on Patreon, do let me know, because I'll just upload it to YouTube then and then link it. Because I've noticed, so I'm subscribed to somebody on Patreon, and it's their content is like all videos, and it's really annoying sometimes to watch videos on Patreon. I mean, granted, their videos are like over an hour long. Mine is under 6 minutes, but if it doesn't work out for you, let me know. I'll do something different. And what else was I going to say? I think I forgot if there was anything else I was going to say. If there was something I forgot, I'll put it in the notes below or whatever. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will probably not be making an appearance again before Christmas, so I hope you all have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate. And if you don't celebrate, I hope you have a wonderful day off if you get a day off. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Peace out, Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. Bye.